Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is flipping sides. I usually like to do my meditations or just be going through a period of reflection in morning. So, what had happened was very interesting, and I hope that you stick with me and travel on this psychological excursion with Mentor. So, there was a vehicle that was next to me, and this individual had got out, and I was just looking at the scene from Nefarious, which I spoke about in an earlier video. And she asked me, could she talk to me about Jesus? And I said, fine, let's talk about it. And one mistake that people really do is that they get triggered easily because of the experiences that they had with the church. This is very common with a lot of people that were either psychologically abused or they ended up in the African centered community and they won't let it go. But one thing I learned is that listening is an undervalued skill set. So I hope that once you hear this tale that you arduously put it to use. So she wanted to talk about Jesus, and she went into a short detail of how she had lost her way. And once she had left her Catholic home, how she was dealing drugs for 4 years. My response was this: just because you get off on the wrong spiritual intersection doesn't mean that you don't have a built-in GPS so you can redirect the route and get where you need to go. Everybody runs their race differently, but eventually, whatever you're supposed to do, you will eventually do it. Now, timing is of the essence, but whatever is meant to happen will happen. So we talked, and again, I was being most gracious. So she wanted to, talk about that and how she got right back and she worked at the bar. She no longer was selling drugs, and she's been a devout follower of Jesus for the past 40 years. This is when it gets interesting. And she asked me some questions. And she said, did you know that the only way that you can enter into the celestial realm or heaven is through Jesus? I said, I'm aware of that. I'm very familiar with Catholicism. And she was like, surprised, like, my father was with the Catholic Church for 40 years and he didn't know that. She said she had to learn to read the Bible from front cover to back cover, which, if you really know what you're doing, you actually do quite the reverse. You start from Revelation and then you work your way up to Genesis. A lot of people don't know that, but she talked about, did you know that? Because it caused her father dismay and he left and she left along with him. I know the exact verse. It's the book of John, chapter 14, verse 6, about the only way that you can get in is through me. And now this is where it's also going to get interesting again, because in that she was polite, I was polite. But she said something before she walked away. She was like, thank you for your time. And she said it's not too late because she said, people wake up every day and want to be on this planet. And she said, I can't wait until I can leave so I can be in heaven. And she said, you need to accept Jesus because this is your opportunity, because a lot of people, they're wasting time. And again, I just smiled and I said, okay. I took it all in. As Bruce Lee said, if you don't control your emotions control you. And we both didn't believe in coincidences. And this is why I say why. It's ironic that I did a video talking about Jehovah. And no, Jehovah won't help you with magic. No. But just because something or someone, if it doesn't go a certain way you would like, don't think that a person won't keep their eye on you, or as they refer to you as the prodigal son. Here's the thing that people gotta accept. Just like you have political movements that recruit in the ancestral realm, the Loa, the Orisha, the infernal realm, the celestial realm. They recruit. So don't think that they don't recruit, and don't think that they don't flip sides, because they definitely do. Don't believe me? Who ended up as Times Man of the Year when this happened in the late 30s? Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin. Who founded Time magazine? Henry Luce. He was in Skull and Bones. But let's take it a step further. Before the inception of the Nation of Islam, both Fard and Elijah Muhammad were both in the Moorish Science Temple, as well as Elijah Muhammad being affiliated with the United Negro Improvement Association. People take what they can, they go on and they start something else. People flip sides all the time. And this was evident in the 1991 movie JFK, which talked about the assassination of Jack Kennedy, which was directed by Oliver Stone. And there was a character in there who did exist, David Ferrie. He said, people flipping sides all the time. Like 1 minute you with us, then the next minute you're our enemy. It's fun and games. There were 638 attempts on Castro. What saved him was magic. True. So Jehovah like, oh, I know exactly who you are, and I'm going to keep my eye on you. So don't think that, you just totally are off the radar. It never works like that. And let's say this about Christian witches. Usually people that want to go into magic and come from that type of background, one thing that they left out. Yes, you have Catholics that have practiced magic, as well as Protestant and Baptists. But what they left out is now the Jehovah Witnesses. They've inserted themselves and they put their piece on the chessboard. And the Jehovah Witnesses, if you go to JW.org, they've said there's no difference between white and black magic. Jehovah Witnesses are leaving to practice the occult. How do you think that makes Jehovah feel? Oh, the delicious irony of it. So people flip sides. Whatever side you on, be comfortable with it. And my thing is this. Oh, this is going to be a fun time. And I would like to thank everybody for their support and the birthday wishes and everything else they did for me. You know who you are. Love is love. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friend. Peace.